On the Weekend Watch, we are talking about a major bipartisan announcement in Washington this week. President Biden announcing an infrastructure deal after several meetings with Democrats and Republicans. This morning, though, the deal may be in doubt after Republicans felt blindsided about Democrats adding additional legislation to the move. Now, the $1.2 trillion infrastructure plan calls for $579 billion in new spending in areas like transportation, roads, bridges, broadband for rural communities, and the largest investment in the rail system since Amtrak began. So what does this mean specifically for Illinois? The watchdog group, the Better Government Association, is looking into that very issue. And here to talk more from the BGA is John Chase. So John, good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Nice to have you. So normally when we talk about infrastructure, we think about road projects and pavement, bridges. Talk about the differences, though, with President Biden's plan.
Yeah, so as you noted, President Biden's plan and what's passing are still sort of being hashed out. But President Biden's plan, the American Jobs Plan, looks at much broader than just roads and bridges, which we all think of infrastructure. It's looking at, related underserved communities. Instead of paying for suburban sprawl, trying to invest in neighborhoods, in cities and towns, things more on mass transit. So things that will eventually find its way to things like CTA in Chicago. So it's a lot more sort of a broader component than what typically people think of when they hear the word infrastructure.
Absolutely. Here in Illinois, lawmakers passed an infrastructure bill. That was back in 2019. How has most of that money been spent? In the typical fashion we would normally think about?
Yeah, and that's sort of the thing. With Biden's plan, the American Jobs Plan is really challenging what has typically been the traditional way, and that of thinking of infrastructure, and that is what we saw with Rebuild Illinois. Governor Pritzker's plan that passed in 2019, where more than half went for those traditional things, roads, bridges. And not to say that those things aren't needed, but the emphasis that's being put on with the American Jobs Plan versus what we saw in Illinois is really stark. And so a lot of people, a lot of activists are thinking, okay, if this American Jobs Plan, if Biden's vision starts to make its way across the country, it's going to change how we all and how the state government here in Illinois is going to start allocating some of this federal money.
Yeah, and we're talking about a lot of money, too. So if the federal bill indeed passes, priorities are going to change in our state at that point, it seems like.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And I mean, that's still being decided, and state governments have a big say in how that money is actually spent. And so that's something we're going to continue to watch. But it's things like more bike lanes, things that help pedestrians more, investment in mass transit. And one example that we brought up in our story was the extension of the Red Line beyond 95th Street to help neighborhoods like Roseland on the south side and hopefully helping some of the folks in the south suburbs to get to places like to get to their jobs, to get to the local Walmart, so that they don't have to do what they're doing now, which is they feel very isolated in neighborhoods like that.
All right, John Chase, thank you very much. Appreciate the explanation this morning.
Thanks very much for having me.
Yeah, so you can read more BGA articles at bettergov.org. We're always posting a link on our website as well, abc7chicago.com, and of course, it's available on our news app.
Hey, if you like that video, be sure to subscribe to our ABC7 Chicago YouTube channel.